Hello everyone, I am back today to talk about products that I have used up, so my empties. I have been doing mini empty projects on TikTok. I've just put one up where if I've used up at least 5 products, I will rank them from most likely to repurchase through to least likely to repurchase, and I'll give like mini reviews as I use things up. So a lot of these things, if you follow me on TikTok, you will recognize them. I also feature more things that I save for these videos. So things like mouthwash and stuff like that. Those are things that I don't feel is necessary to keep and talk about time and time again in these videos. But yeah, so if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can. Oh, I just got powder all over my bed. Hooray. But is this my first empties of the year or my second empties? I'm not sure. I'll have it in the title. All right, to simplify things, I'm going to talk about these in categories. I'm going to start with makeup because I usually finish off with makeup, but I want to talk about makeup today. I've got 3 foundation-y type products, drugstore ones. Now these were just from my recent Project Pan update. So I've spoken about them then. If you want to skip it, you can, because I'm going to say the same stuff. This is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum. It's got 1% hyaluronic acid. I've got 2 shades, very light and light. I was a mix between the 2. I was hoping this was going to be like a medium, like light to medium coverage, something that made my skin look healthy and that lasted fairly well on me. And the answer was besides the coverage, it didn't suit me. I think the problem is that it's got hyaluronic acid. For some people that will work really well. I don't mind hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is designed to hold on to moisture. So if you have it on your skin and you've got moisturizers on and whatnot, it sort of holds the moisture into your skin and makes your skin quite hydrated. Problem is though that, and what I think I face with this is if you have this in makeup or the top of your skin, the layer that you put on your skin, if it's not holding moisture from like your moisturizer or something like that, it can actually start pulling moisture out of your skin. So I actually found that this got really, really dry and made my skin drier than it normally is and looked really patchy. So it didn't give a beautiful glowy effect. It didn't give a nice natural effect. The amount of coverage was nice, but it just didn't look nice on me. So I used these up because I wanted to get rid of them, and they were a big disappointment to me. The way I used these up was adding in this Maybelline 4-in-1 Glow. This added a little bit more glowy look to it because this was essentially a sheer base product with shimmer in it. This claims that this is a 4-in-1 product. It's supposed to be a primer, illuminator, BB cream, and concealer. I would not say it's a concealer. I would not say it's an illuminator because it's got sort of a pigment, like foundation pigment to it. So if you put it on, it actually, yes, it has some shine, but it also looks flesh. It's weird. It looks sort of fleshy toned, and if you've got it on top of a blush or a bronzer, it actually blanks it out a little bit. It's a bit weird. So I found this better as a mixing product or as a base. So you can put this all over your face and then put foundation or concealer where you want to put it. So together these were okay, but individually I didn't like any of them. I would not repurchase them, and I am so happy to see them go. See you later. Powder products. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. I quite like this powder. Very, very expensive. What I loved about it is that it was quite high coverage. So I found that this was my perfect sort of handbag makeup. If I had makeup breaking down or makeup had worn off my chin, I just get this out and I touch it up, and it actually looks like it's almost like a powder foundation. So I really like having a powder like this on me when I'm going out as a touch-up. This was very expensive. I did like it. It dropped out of my handbag and broke. So I was devastated. And because of that alone, I wouldn't repurchase it right now. If I saw it in a pack or on sale, I would consider doing it. But I do know you can get cheaper, fuller coverage powders without having to pay the price tag of this. So I like it. This is the shade Fair. I really like Fair. It's number 1. I remember Hayley telling me that shade number 2 oxidizes on her. So Fair worked really well on me and didn't oxidize. Nice powder, nice finely milled powder, good effect. I wouldn't wear it every day because it was just adds too much coverage to my base. but also it was really expensive, but nice on like texture areas and maybe fine lines, because it is nice and finely milled, but just goddamn expensive. So that one is if it was on sale, I'd repurchase one, but I don't need that in my daily life at that price point. Speaking of expensive, this is a Dior Illuminating Pressed Powder in 001. This is in my project pan. I did really like this. This is a compact that I can take the product out, like I can take this out and put a new pan in, but you can't buy the fucking refills. Sorry YouTube for swearing, but you can't buy the refills. Also these days, the new packages of these you can buy refills for. This one doesn't have the removable pan, so I can't do that. But if you did buy a compact of these recently, you might find the hole in the bottom which allows you to buy a refill. But annoyingly, the refill is almost the same price as the full compact with the powder, which is ridiculous. The refill should be a fraction of the price, not like, you know, 10% off. Like, it's bullshit. Anyway, this I can't repurchase anyway, so this is going to be a glorified mirror. But the powder, like the highlighter itself, was really nice. You can buy this highlighter in different package, like I don't know if it's in a palette or its own compact. I'm not sure, but I think this, yeah, this gold packaging was a Christmas release. So yeah. I don't know why I can't buy refills for it. It's really annoying. The highlighter was lovely. It was very subtle, but gave a nice glow. The color looked quite natural on me. I could wear it with warm makeup, cool makeup, and it didn't look too frosty or anything. It was nice. So I like this, but since I can't buy a refill, this is just going to be a fancy, heavy paperweight. I was going to say handbag mirror, but it's too heavy for my handbag. Adds like a few 100 grams, like it's very heavy. All right, I used up a lip gloss. This was in my project pan. It is the Sigma Hydrating Lip Gloss. Really nice lip gloss. Very, very nourishing, felt really nice. The glitter though, didn't love. It's got little chunks of glitter in it. At the start, it wasn't that big a deal, but as I got to the bottom, it started feeling gritty. So if they took out the glitter in this, I would recommend it. It's a really, really lovely, high shine, glossy, thin, almost like a lip oil. Is it a lip oil? Lip gloss. No, it's got jojoba oil in it, vitamin E, hyaluronic acid. Very nice. Felt really nice. Just don't like the glitter. I really liked this. This is the Rimmel Kind and Free mascara. I liked it. It was good for subtle. Look, I don't like natural mascara, but I also think that on low makeup days, the really thickening, volumizing, clumpy sort of mascara looks out of place. This was really nice because it was lengthening, it was volumizing, but not too volumizing, and I feel like it held a fairly reasonable curl. So one layer, it looked quite it sort of looked fluttery and really pretty. It was a really nice mascara. And then if you wanted to make it a little bit more bold, if you're wearing more makeup, you just have to put a second coat. So I really like this. Really affordable and really versatile. Remind me a little bit of that MAC one. I forgot what it's called. I have it on the screen. But that one has a small wand, and again, it sort of does a natural sort of wispy effect. And then if you build it up, it sort of builds with it. But I just feel like this is a lot cheaper and I like it more. So that one was nice. I really like it. I would repurchase that. Revlon ColorStay eyeliner. This is in bronze. I liked this. I mainly use this on no makeup days, or no eyeshadow days. If I had a little bit of a base, lip gloss, bit of mascara, and I wanted something to define the eyes a little bit, I used this. The bronze originally I thought was going to be too light to define the eyes, but with no competing eyeshadow, it was really nice just to add a little bit of shape to the eyes. You can sort of blend it out with this little, I've just taken it off, this little sponge. You can sort of rub it in. So I put on the lower lash line, sometimes on the waterline, a little bit in the outer corner, buffed it in a little bit, and just added a little bit of warmth and dimension to the eye. So I thought this was really nice. I would consider repurchasing this, but I've got a drawer full of eyeliners. I also want to say that I had this for quite some time. It stayed creamy, like for years, and also it didn't budge on the eye and smear off. So I thought it was a really nice eyeliner. I would buy other colors in this range. I would repurchase this color if I got through more eyeliners. I liked it. This was a nice one. I also used up Rimmel. This is a Scandaleyes Kohl Kajal eyeliner in the shade Gilded Gold 009. This is like an olivey, shimmery, dark. It's not gold. It's like a dark olive color, but with like gold shimmer through it. And it was very pretty. I think I just like the retractable nature of this one. I've used Rimmel Scandalized Kohl Kajal eyeliners for years and years and years. Bronze and brown are my favorite ones. They just, again, they're really creamy. They wear really nicely. They're really cheap. So I would repurchase this one. Again, I'd repurchase these both. It's just that at the moment I want to use eyeliners and then sort of narrow down my collection. So I'm not going to repurchase these, but I would have no hesitation buying them again. Used up a fragrance. This was in a project pan as well. Whenever you see these lines, it means I'm tracking my progress. I'm using it up. This was by Escentric Molecules, and it's the Escentric 04. It's got some citrusy notes. It's nice, but it's also a little bit heavy and a bit musky, and I found that it's not my fave. They've got a mandarin version that has come out since, and I think that is more my jam. I think like something a little bit lighter. Yeah, I like this. I didn't love it, so I wouldn't repurchase that, but I'm not opposed to repurchasing more from that brand. A couple of hair products. I used up the Miracle Spray hair treatment by 11 Australia. It does not do the 11 claims that it claims to do. That's where the name came from. This is the spray version. It's the same product as the pump version, but it smells like melon and not coconut. So if you don't like coconut, get this spray version. It's the same cream product. It's not like a liquid that sprays out. It's like a cream that you spray out. It's a little bit annoying. Like, this is empty, obviously. But it has this like slight melon scent rather than like a sweet melon scent rather than that coconut scent. I hate coconut. So yeah, that was a tip if you wanted to know the difference between them. Different applicator and different scent. Now, it claims to do 11 things: shine, smoothness, control frizz, moisture, strengthen, prevent split ends, protect against hair styling, repair, UVA, UV, blah, blah, blah. All these things. I felt like it didn't. Maybe some of the invisible things I felt like it did, but I've got quite a lot of frizz and I don't feel like it managed frizz at all. I feel like it was just like a leave-in conditioner that added like a bit of, I felt like I had like leave-in conditioner in my hair, which my hair doesn't really like. It sort of weighs it down a bit, and I didn't feel like all the nice smoothing, defrizzing stuff. I don't think it did any of that, so I wouldn't repurchase this, but I have heard other people say they really like it, so it just depends on your hair type. I did really like this. This is the Hask Argan Oil Repairing Shine Hair Oil. If you are OG here, you would have seen this in my empties from years and years and years ago, because I repurchased the heck out of this. I would see these on sale at Priceline and buy like 5 of them, and in all different, they have different caps with different oils and different scents. My favorite one was the red one. It had like a melon scent to it, and I haven't seen it in years and years, so I think they've discontinued it, sadly, or at least in Australia. This one smells like orange, and it's argan oil based, and it's very cheap. When you buy it on sale, like, I don't know what the price is these days, but I'd get it 50% off for about $3 or $3.50. And this would last me like 6 months of use. I would use this to reduce some frizz. I would use it as a leave-in hair treatment. Like if I knew I was going to wash my hair, I would just leave it in a few hours earlier and like sort of load up the ends of my hair. I really like it. I have used nicer hair oil since, but they're a lot more expensive. So if you want something that's travel friendly, this was in my travel bag. This is a good one. You can also buy it in the bigger bottle, and it's nice and affordable. So I like this one, but I want the, what was the red one called? The red one was the Kalahari Melon one. I can't see it anywhere. These are still $6 full priced, half price $3. And it seems like in Australia you can get the smoothing hair oil, you can get this one, the argan oil, or the coconut oil. I don't know why you can't get the Kalahari one. Apparently you can get, apparently on Amazon you can buy that many of them for $15 plus $11 shipping to Australia. I'm tempted, because that was my favorite one. So that one with the red, the Kalahari Melon Oil. That one was my favorite one, and it's not around anymore. Do I buy 12 of them? Random thing, this is the Uemura, where is it? The Uemura brush cleaner. So this was like an alcohol brush cleaner, and it's like a spot cleaner. So it's alcohol based. You put some on like a paper towel or a rag or something, and you wash your brushes in it. Yeah, fine, good, but isopropyl alcohol does the trick, and it is much cheaper. So I did like it. If I saw it, Uemura is pulling out of like international markets left, right, and center. So I got this from YesStyle. If I saw it, and YesStyle, look, YesStyle still stock Uemura and they ship it to Australia, but they inflate the price. I remember when I used to buy the lipsticks in store in David Jones versus seeing them on YesStyle, they would add like 30% price markup. So Uemura is very expensive there. If you see a sale and you want something, okay, cool, they might have it on stock, but Uemura, it's hard to get in Australia these days, and they pulled the hairline from international markets as well, so won't get that. Let's do some quick body products before we get on to skincare, and that's where we're going to end it. Vaseline Intensive Deep Restore Non-Greasy Lotion. Pass. It was pretty average. It was quite thin, didn't do much, very wet. One of those things that you put on and you got to let dry for a long time before you can put your clothes on. Bit annoying. The Weleda Skin Food Body Lotion was a lot thicker, a lot more nourishing. Very annoying to get out of the bottle though, because it is so thick. You have to be like, get out. But is a nicer texture of a body lotion in my opinion. I used up this Grown Alchemist hand cream. I don't know what scent it was because it was from a pack and it's not listed, but quite a nice hand cream. I had this in my car, and the good thing is it was quite nourishing, but then it sort of dried down so it wasn't slippery. So when I'm at the lights and I feel like my hands are dry, which is when I'm driving, and I'm always like, my hands look dry, and then I'm like, they feel dry, my hands are dry, which they're probably not. I'm just like, just ruminates on it. So if I'm at the light, sometimes I'm like moisturizing my hands, and this didn't make my steering wheel go all greasy and gross, but it was thick enough to nourish my hands. So Grown Alchemist I would consider buying again. And then I've also got the Cucumber Mint Native Deodorant. I bought a whole bunch of native deodorants before they stopped shipping to Australia, but I wanted to talk about this one because it's a plastic free packaging. So it's essentially like almost like a Pringle tube. It's just like a cardboard tube. I'll turn the brightness down because it is hard to see. There we go. You just take it off. Again, another cardboard tube. And what you'd do is you'd push up the bottom with your thumb or however you want, and you'd push it up. Now, the problem was that they could start to come apart. And it was a little bit like clunky, but I love the idea of having a plastic. I've got this little bit rolling around. So when you get to the top, you generally have this little bit left that pops out. And I was sort of just using this, like taking it out like a solid deodorant and putting it on. And then it got to a point where it's so little that it's sort of like annoying to put on. So I kept it. Smells nice. But yeah, this packaging I've seen a lot of people complain about, but I also think for the environment, like I'm happy to deal with slightly clunky packaging, and it works. So I thought that was really cool. I like the plastic free packaging. I think more brands should do it, and more people should be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to clunky mechanisms, when there is no twist up, there is no plastic, it is just cardboard that you can chuck in your recycle bin. I think that's excellent. All right, I've categorized the skincare into loves, indifferent, and hates. First, love, To Save Face sunscreen from Mecca Cosmetica. Love it. It is a great sunscreen. What I love about it is it's not only SPF 50 plus, which is great, but it is also very it's like a thick lotion that's not greasy. So it feels luxurious. You feel like you're putting a really high-end cream on, and it doesn't feel like a greasy, pore clogging sunscreen. It is a chemical sunscreen, so it doesn't have that zinc sort of white cast. Zinc sunscreens tend to cause me to break out, but I love this. I've repurchased it. I've even bought the new sort of serum version, which I haven't tried yet, but this range I love. It's going to be my most repurchased SPF. It is great. I'll repurchase that in the future. When it comes to CeraVe, this is a hydrating foaming oil cleanser. So this was like an oily cleanser. So it was like a cleanser, but it had like an oily sort of slip to it. It was very nice. I've got another one in my shower at the moment. And I want to work through the range and just find out which one I like the most, because I really like their cleansers. Really affordable if you find them on sale, and really nice and gentle on the skin, really effective. I found this removed makeup really, really well, and it didn't strip my skin and make my skin feel like it has been, all the oil has been stripped out of it, which is great. So this was really nice one. Would repurchase that, but I currently have repurchased a different one from the same range. Bioderma, I love Bioderma. This is a great way for me to remove, I'm going to turn the brightness down again, remove makeup or just give my skin a bit of a refresh. So in the morning, if I'm not going to have a shower or I don't want to wash my face with like something that's wet and soapy, I'll just get some like a reusable cotton round, and I would just put this on, leave it. Bioderma and La Roche-Posay are the only two micellar waters that I enjoy because they don't sting my eyes. I know I can leave them on without heaps of fragrance and ingredients that can irritate my skin. I keep coming back to it. I haven't repurchased it yet because I just haven't, but I definitely will. I love Bioderma and I love La Roche-Posay. Whichever one I see on sale next, I'm going to buy. So they're interchangeable. These last two things, I really enjoyed them, but they're very expensive. So Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant. This is a mini one from a pack. It's like a powder that you mix with a little bit of water to create like a paste. You work it into your face. If you make it more of a drier paste, it will gently exfoliate your skin as well as chemically exfoliate your skin. If you make it a little bit more watery, you won't get that physical exfoliant. So if you don't like that scrubby feel, you can just make it into more of a milk, and you can use it as a chemical exfoliant. I love it. I think it's really nice on the skin, but it is pretty expensive, but I would repurchase it. Murad Multivitamin Infusion Oil. Very, very nice oil, but very goddamn expensive. This is like $130 in Australia. Is not worth it, but it is a very nice oil. So there you go. If you love oils, you might like this. I feel like a nice, good quality rosehip oil for like a third of the price does the same thing. So for me, I wouldn't repurchase it, but I did enjoy it. These are all the in-between things. I've got the No. 7 Laboratories Line Correcting Booster Serum. This is marketed as being as good as Botox. It is fucking not. It is not. Absolutely not. If you've used Botox, it is not Botox. That claim alone makes me annoyed at this. It might have been a fine serum, but those claims, yeah, nah, won't repurchase that. Antipodes Culture Prebiotic Night Recovery Water Cream. Water cream, I think, is why I didn't like this. It smelled very herbal, almost like lavendery, which I didn't love, but it is quite a thin, watery cream, and I just don't like moisturizers that I put on and I've got to like dry before I like can go to bed. I like things that are a little bit richer, especially at night. I can handle something that's a little bit richer at night. During the day, I want something a little bit lighter. This watery cream just didn't really fit in my routine at all, so I wouldn't repurchase that, but it was fine. It was fine. Alpha H, I've actually got another one of these, so you'll see this pop up in another Empties. This is the Generation Glow Daily Resurfacing Essence. It's 5% AHA complex. So from the Alpha H range, this is the weakest of the glycolic acids. I like the serum that is the strongest because I like something that I can use once every few days and the next day my skin feels like it's been resurfaced. This is something you can use every night, even during the day, and it is a lot more gentle. So I don't dislike it. I just like another product in their range a lot more. The Innisfree, this is the Jeju Lava Seawater Eye Serum. It was fine. I use it as a face serum. It's nice and refreshing, nice and light. But I used it up really quickly because I used it all over my face. Same for the Embachi Age Revitalizing Eye Serum. This was quite nice. I don't use eye serums. I feel like they're not worth the extra step. If they are, I will use them happily, but I don't notice a difference when I use an eye serum versus when I don't. So I prefer to just use a serum that I can safely take up to my eye area and just do it all in one step. So I'm sort of trying to go through my eye products and just clear them out by using them all over my face because they're just taking up room in my cupboard and I don't use them. So this is not a bad product. It's just not something I'd repurchase. Onto the things I actively did not like. So let's start with another oil. Antipodes, sorry mate. Sorry, didn't like your Divine Face Oil. This is rosehip and avocado oil. I love rosehip oil. My skin really likes rosehip oil. It sinks it in nicely. It makes it feel nice and plump, but it also almost regulates my oil production. So instead of my skin feeling like it needs to overproduce oil, it sort of makes me think, makes my skin think you've got enough oil, you can calm down with the overproduction. So I really love rosehip oil. I've been using it for like over 10 years. This one I didn't like, possibly the avocado oil, I'm not sure. But when I put this on, it sat on my skin. Like my hair would get stuck in it, cat fluff would get stuck in it. It would not sink in. It would just transfer onto my pillow at night. And I just found this infuriating. So I ended up using it on my body just to use it up. So this I would not repurchase. It was just, yes, didn't sink in, sat on, just oil, just fluff and things from the air, just bleh, bleh, didn't like it. Olay Luminous Niacinamide and Vitamin C Moisturizer. This was just a very thin basic moisturizer that had a really strong artificial apricot scent to it. Just smelled like a cheap hand cream. I didn't vibe with me. I didn't like it. This I also didn't like. Illucent Even Tone Exfoliating Cleanser. I'll turn the brightness down so you can have a look. Not that I would recommend it. It's an exfoliating cleanser, so it had little scrubby particles, but it was mainly like, it was like a white cleanser that sort of gave you the impression it was a cream cleanser, but it wasn't. Foamed up slightly, but it was just a basic cleanser, and it had fine scrubbing particles in it, but it was so dispersed that it didn't give you a good scrub. And whenever you'd be washing your face, like you're just using it as a normal cleanser, you'd come across a scrubby particle and almost felt like a prickle. Like it was like, oh, what's that? So it wasn't finely milled and packed densely, so you feel like you're getting a nice sort of sandpaper, like light sandpaper scrubbing effect. It was just like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, that shouldn't be in there. And it felt like it was almost a little bit of scratching and irritating. I didn't like it. I didn't get it. It was not good. And lastly, the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Deep Cleansing Oil. I love cleansing oils. This one stung my eyes. The only way I could possibly use it, well, I ended up using this up on my legs. So I mainly used it to, I put it on my legs and I would shave my legs and then like jump in the shower and it would just wash off nicely. And it'd make a nice like close shave because it was a nice slip. So I used it that way. On my eyes, it would literally sting my eyes for minutes and minutes and minutes. If you have, and I don't have super sensitive eyes. If you had sensitive eyes, this would sting you for ages. I would have to put this on, jump in the shower and literally use the shower almost like it was, you know, when in like labs and stuff, they have like the eye washing area. If you got chemicals in your eyes, I felt like I was like, just wash it out. So this, I did not recommend. The oil was fine. It removed makeup. It rinsed off nicely, but it stung my eyes like nobody's business. So that one would not repurchase. So we left that video on a bit of a low note, but it's all fun. So those are all the empties that I've used up. I don't know if it's this year or since my last video, whatever. You can find out. And now I'm going to go take these to TerraCycle. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've used up any products recently. What would you recommend to people? What would you tell them to stay away from? Like, I've used it all up. I've used this for months and I've struggled through it and it is not good. Warn us, warn people in the comments. So I want your recommendations, I want your warnings, I want to know what you've been using up, and I will be chatting to you in the comments. Bye.